saw a deer. Well, sure as you can tell, not in Wisconsin anymore. Finally made it to North Dakota. We made the 12-hour drive last night. Got here just in time for the sun to come up. We've been online scouting quite a bit, and this is just a section that we've been looking at. And it worked out pretty good. There's just a little knoll right by the road. So we came up here with the spotters for first half-hour light here and just glassing over all these bottoms. There's a bunch of little potholes kind of scattered around and some private ag kind of just all scattered throughout the property. Nothing's really like sectioned off. But the plan for this morning is just to drive around and keep jumping to all these different properties, start trying to figure out where these deer are hanging out. The season doesn't open until noon today, and we're gonna run to town, get some extra supplies, do some grocery shopping for the week, and then hopefully have some sort of pin on where some deer are hanging out, come back after them and see if we can start figuring out where these things are hanging out. But Chris and myself both have tags. Peyton's out here helping us do some filming. So it should be a fun week. I'm looking forward to it. We've been patiently waiting all summer for this stuff to roll around, and it's finally here. So we're gonna try our best to get on some deer, and all we can do is just keep plugging away. It's opening day. I'm excited. I think everyone else is pretty excited, and now we get to finally put our hard work into use and see if those reps that we've been slinging through the bows have been paying off. Oh, buck's crossing the road. He's literally in the middle of the road. Yeah, so we just pulled out. We're probably only 2-3 miles from where we were glassing first thing this morning, and we just jumped in the truck, drive around, try to find some more deer. Going past all these hay bales, and I'm trying to make sure we don't go off the road, and Peyton shouts out from the back seat that there's buck standing back there. So I went driving down, we turned around, and we're probably, I don't know, 400 yards down the road, and the buck actually ended up crossing the road, and there's public on both sides, and he just crossed into a cornfield, but there's a big like levee with a couple ponds down in there. I'm assuming he's probably gonna go down in there and hang out, and there's a doe hanging around with him, but I'm not sure where the doe went. But looked like a little basket rack 8, still in velvet though. Nothing huge, but I'm not one to really judge on something like that, but still a nice deer. Nice seeing a buck first morning we're here. So we're gonna jump back in the truck, keep driving, and hopefully keep finding some more bucks. He crossed like right at that side on the public.
Yeah, they're, oh yeah, he was way up here, right?
Yeah, he crossed right under the road. He honestly might be walking that ledge.
Yeah, he was right behind those. Right
There he is, there he is. Stop.
Oh my, yep.
First buck of the trip right there.
Smoke some! Let's go! done. Look at that. And we are on. Let's go. Well, it's going on about 3:30 here. We pulled over just so I could shoot my broadheads again because we've been driving around for a bit and my bow's been bouncing around in the back. We've had some friends just showing us that some of the bucks that they've been seeing are hard-horned, but the deer we saw this morning is still in full velvet, so that would be pretty dang awesome to get on a full velvet buck, as I have never shot one before. I don't think anybody here has, so that would be sweet if we could get on one of them, but we'll see what happens and see what we can get on. It's a little after 5 here. We found what we think is going to be a good property. There's a bunch of cedar thickets and cottonwoods here, and we just worked our way up to the top of the hill, and we're sitting in the shadows right now, just glassing the hillsides, hoping there's a deer that pops out. There's a bunch of little rolling hills and willow pockets. Even if we don't get a shot off today, we can come back in here. If we don't see anything, we're gonna just work our way through the rest of this property. There's a bean field off to the north side, and we're hoping we can catch the deer bedding on this property, working their way that way, and we could possibly get a shot off before they get there. Oh, it's not electric. What the heck? Oh, she's tan. She's a wild Aaron, unless she has eyelashes. Oh, much better with this eye.
Just you and me, baby. Whitetails, fire me up. Whitetails, North Dakota, some Jason Aldean. We're getting ready for it, bud. We're moving, we're grooving.
And Chris.
No, not Chris. He's just sleeping.
Was he in velvet?
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah.
Was he bigger than the last deer?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He looked like an 8.
Oh, I'll shoot.
Just like,
Oh, really?
not wide, just like.
Just tall? Oh, okay.
He was literally walking like.
Yeah, I got him
He
at the
went
last.
right in.
Right in. I saw him right there. Yeah.
I was trying. There was all those does. I'm like looking.
No, I saw
looking,
him. I
and then
saw
all of a
literally.
sudden,
I got on him, and then I saw him dip right in.
Yeah, and then he just
Yeah,
went right down
in
in
there.
there.
I knew there was a lot of beds in there.
Yeah. Today's been kind of a fiasco, but it seems to be leading up pretty good now. We weren't seeing any deer pretty much all day, driving around, checking spots, and it's getting down to last light, and we're a little bit farther south from where we are right now. Just weren't seeing any deer. Seen a doe in a bean field, but we just decided to hit the road and head to a different part of the state. And the direction we were heading went right past the property we were actually in earlier, so I decided to kind of lead off course a little and just check it out. We had 3 does come up across the road a little bit down the road here, pulled up. There's 2 does feeding in this bean field that's private, that butts right up against the public that we were in earlier. And sure enough, I just pull over quick and I'm like, screw it, you know, I'm gonna get the binos, do one last glass check through that property before we hit the road again. And sure enough, I see this little 8-pointer standing up there. So I pull over, shut the truck off quick, try to get the spotting scope out, and just as I get the spotting scope up, he just goes off into one of them ditches. But there's a bunch of does up there feeding right now, and we're probably, I don't know, 600-700 yards from there right now, just sitting up on this high knob on the road. But we were gonna completely leave Dodge and go somewhere else, but it looks like we're gonna just hunker down here for the night and try to get after him in the morning. We know there's for sure at least 1 buck in there, a bunch of does, but usually early season like this, those bucks like to hang out in bachelor groups, and even if they start splitting up, they're usually not too far. And there's a bunch of public in this general section that's kind of all locked in together, so we got a lot of ground to work with. But overall, I mean, first day, it's kind of what you expect. You know, you get out here and just start driving around, pounding ground, trying to find deer, and it's exactly what we've been doing. But we've been seeing bucks, so could be going a lot worse. We could not seen any deer at all. But that's gonna wrap things up for day 1, and we're gonna hit that property first thing in the morning and hopefully be able to get Chris's first North Dakota buck. But we'll catch you guys in the morning.
We've been sitting on this hillside for about an hour now, just glassing deer, and so far we've seen about 15 does. No bucks yet, but that's all right. At least we know there's a ton of deer here, so we're just gonna buzz around, see if we can see some deer from the road, and probably just come back in here tonight and watch them again, and hopefully a buck will pop in.
How are we feeling? Day 2.
Hot, very hot. But we're feeling good. The bow's on. All that's left is for a big old buck to walk in front of us.
Aaron, how we feeling? Day 2.
Confident.
Confident?
Yes, sir.
That's what we like to hear.
Alrighty guys, well it's the evening of day 2 here in North Dakota, and we're back at the same property we were at this morning, where we managed to lay eyes on about 15 does that came from the private bean field and a bunch of these drainages. So this evening we're gonna sit here on the top of this hill and look at all these drainages and willow thickets and potential bedding areas, and hopefully a buck gets up and we can lay eyes on him. If we can't make a move on him today, hopefully we can see where he goes so we can make a plan for tomorrow morning to get after him.
Guys, we were sitting here glassing, looking out onto these hillsides, and all of a sudden, 2 little fawns step out at about 10-15 yards away from us. They still haven't seen us. We were sitting right here. They walked out right in front of us, across the fence, everything. The wind's blowing right towards that patch of water right there, so they can't smell us. I mean, it's pretty sweet.
Got naps like 10 hours a day.
Anything to say about that?
That's an incorrect statement.
Alright. 9 hours.
There we go.
Yeah, we're all pretty tired today. Did a lot of hiking. But just trying to cook these brats up. Get something in our bellies. Hit the hay, as you can tell, I'm tired. But Chris has a whole bunch to say.
Yeah.
He'll close it out.
Well, after those 2 little fawns that were in front of us worked off, I stood up and turned around, and there was a buck that was working his way through the cedars. So Aaron and I decided to pursue it and took our time working our way through the cedars, trying to get closer and whatnot, but unfortunately weren't able to meet up with him and didn't even see him actually. At least we saw one and were able to try and go after it. But tomorrow morning we're gonna do a bunch of hiking and try and get at least a mile deep onto some public land that looks pretty good on Onyx, so I'll catch you in the morning.